Spike Lee is boycotting the Knicks. Our BronxNet cameras had New York's big win over Houston Monday, but it was overshadowed by that news. More on that in just a moment. Here's more from the post-game locker room.
As satisfied over win. Winning feels good regardless, no matter who it's against.
Nah, man, it was more for the team. That was great. You know, they're a good team. They've been on a good run, so you know that's a big dub.
I mean, it's big. It's stuff that we didn't really do earlier in the season. Learning how to close games. Although we had a big lead and we kind of missed it and lost it, but we won the game, and it's big. It's I think improvement from our team, and now we got to build on it.
We're playing. It's about us. You know, I think we have that approach about what we do. Both ends of the floor, every possession. Like we're building something, you know, bigger picture. So it's not about who we're playing. It's about us and our approach to every single game. Tonight we just didn't approach the game the right way.
You can't take games like this lightly. It's the NBA, it's the league. Everybody goes out and compete. You gotta be ready to play.
125-123 final over the James Harden-Russell Westbrook-led Rockets. Knicks followed that win with a loss to Utah Wednesday night. The loss broke a two-game Knicks winning streak, including that memorable win against Houston that few knew even existed thanks to it being overshadowed by the Lee incident. Knicks owner James Dolan's war with Lee for entering the Garden via his favorite employee media entrance Monday became national news. Spike said you won't see him at the Garden the rest of the way. The Orange and Blue host OKC tonight and Detroit on Sunday. How about a tale of two cities for the Brooklyn Nets? Karis LeVert dropped 51 in a 129-120 OT thriller, which included him sinking three straight from the charity stripe to send the game into the extra session on Tuesday night in Boston. But the back-to-back Wednesday night, not as enjoyable for LeVert, the Nets, and their fans. Rookie sensation Ja Morant and Memphis posted a 118-79 drubbing in Brooklyn. Here's more.
Third quarter, they came out with a lot of energy. We didn't. I think they made the run. They hit a couple of shots we were okay with, giving them. Josh Jackson hit some shots. Melton hit some shots. But overall, they had a lot more energy than we did tonight.
Guys that we weren't necessarily expecting, like Josh Jackson, made a lot of threes. That helps kind of blow the game open. Yeah, I mean, all the way around, they made plays, and we didn't.
Obviously, back-to-backs are tough, and especially when you're playing against a team that's hot. It's a little bit deflating, when they are hitting tough shots. Obviously, Memphis played really well, so it's a credit to them and how well they played offensively. But like I mentioned, at the end of the day, you can't, you can't stray from, those things that are in your control, and we definitely got away from that tonight.
Nets look to rebound tonight when they host San Antonio. Like the Knicks, that game tips at 7:30. Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry returned to action last night, his first game in 4 months following a broken hand. He scored 23, but the Dubs lost to Toronto. Curry is thrilled to finally be returning to the court and has set his sights on winning his first Olympic gold medal in Tokyo this year, unless, of course, the coronavirus decides to nix that, too. Crowds will be smaller, and receptions have been scrapped at the Tokyo 2020 torchlighting ceremony in ancient Olympia, Greece, next week. The dress rehearsal the day before will be held without spectators. The International Olympic Committee gave further unequivocal backing to this year's games in July and August, urging athletes to prepare full steam despite the coronavirus threat. Time for some quick hitters. The coronavirus might not interrupt Tokyo, but it has elsewhere in sports. The Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai, set for April 19th, has been postponed by the governing body FIA and Formula One. The authorities will consider alternative dates later in the year. Organizers are confident that the Australian Grand Prix will go ahead as scheduled on March 15th, but said they could not offer any firm guarantees because of the dynamic nature of the epidemic. Sticking with racing in Formula E, which we covered in Brooklyn over the summer, has also had a postponement. The all-electric racing series abandoned plans for a race in Sanya, one of China's islands on March 21st. And in MotoGP, the opening 2 rounds of the season in Qatar and Thailand will not go ahead as scheduled. In college hoops, Yeshiva captured the Skyline Conference Championship last Sunday, topping Purchase for the second time in 3 years. They are heading to the Division III NCAA tourney, dancing in March Madness, but they may not have a hotel when they get there. Fear over the coronavirus followed Yeshiva from New York to Maryland. The team had its rooms canceled on Thursday by the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel in Pikesville, according to the Maccabi's coach Eric Steinmetz. Yeshiva was headed there to compete in the first round today at Johns Hopkins University. Earlier this week, a student at Yeshiva tested positive for the virus. Rena, this virus is really a drag, I'll tell you. You know what else is a real drag, folks? Aaron Judge's injuries. A frustrated judge on Thursday publicly discussed his shoulder and chest muscle injuries for the first time, but was unable to provide much clarity about what is causing his discomfort. The Yankee star confirmed that he had pain in both his right shoulder and his right pectoral muscle, but said that there has been no definitive diagnosis. As for the Pinstripers, like that song from the famous band Kiss, Detroit Rock City. In his third exhibition start, a 15-11 Yankees defeat yesterday, Garrett Cole gave up 4 homers that were helped by a stiff wind blowing the center at Joker Marchant Stadium against the Tigers. 4 pitches, 4 homers. I can smile about it because it's spring training. Aware of the wind going to center and the fact that he had been ill with a fever and thinking he had strep throat, but didn't earlier in the week, Cole didn't offer excuses. He says it's fair for both sides. It is what it is, Cole said of the wind. He better not have the virus, folks. Rena, I'm really going to be upset if he does. James Paxton said he could start playing catch by the end of this week or early next week. Finally, some good news from the Yankees. Everything is going real well, said Paxton, who had lower back surgery on February 5th. On the ice, Mika Zibanejad scored 5 goals to match the New York Rangers' record, capping the scoring spree 33 seconds into OT in a wild 6-5 victory over the Washington Capitals last night. What a performance. Broadway Blue Shirts host the Devils at 7 on Saturday. New Jersey plays St. Louis tonight in Newark. Puck drop is 7. Meanwhile, Craig Anderson made 37 saves, and the Ottawa Senators beat the New York Islanders 4-3 last night. The Isles host Carolina Saturday at 1. Isles will play all home games in 2020-2021 at Nassau Coliseum. In MLS action, the New York Red Bulls take on Salt Lake Saturday, while NYCFC squares off against Toronto. Over to the XFL. The New York Guardians needed a win in the worst way, and they got it with a new quarterback, former Rams quarterback Luis Perez, who started in place of the injured Matt McGloin, helped lead the Guardians to a 17-14 win over the LA Wildcats on Saturday at MetLife Stadium. Diaz didn't light it up that much for the 2-2 Gardens, but was an efficient 18 for 26 for 150 yards and a touchdown. We go inside the locker room for more. How great was it to get back in the win column today and also to seem to have, like I said, the offense come alive and the defense come alive too?
Oh, well, we knew we left a lot of stuff out there on the field those past 2 weeks where we lost, and we knew we know we're a great team, but we just had to get a little bit more dialed in on the detail, and that's what we tried to do more this week, and we came out and did what we had to do and won the game. So now going back in, we know we need to focus harder on the detail, do what we have to do during the week, mental-wise, and then we'll be able to come out and show what we can do with our ability.
And how much for you guys now can you build off of this? Because, I mean, now to be back to 500 at 2-2, big win.
I don't want to say a fresh start, but it feels way better than the 1-3. So 2-2, like I said, we try to take 1 week at a time, but we know what we have, what it takes. We just have to put it all together. We leave a lot of plays on the field, but we just have to improve on this game and keep building, get better as a team and as a unit.
What's the outlook for Week 5?
Oh, like I just said, just continue to come back to work tomorrow and continue to game prep and practice hard.
Week 5 in the XFL goes down this weekend. New York is on the road to face the Dallas Renegades. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a congrats to a star that has been featured right here on BronxNet. On Thursday, the Atlantic 10 confirmed the obvious. Fordham Junior guard Bree Kavanaugh is the best player in the league. Kavanaugh has been named A10 Player of the Year for the 1920 season after she scored 19.5 points per game and grabbed over 6 boards per game. She becomes the first female player in Fordham history to take home that honor. Kudos to one of the stars of our show, The Ram, with Coach Gately. Gately's squad entered the Atlantic 10 tournament on a quest to win its second straight conference title. So far, that journey is off on the right foot. Fordham defeated St. Joseph's University 59-36 on Tuesday night. The win over St. Joe's was the second such victory in 4 days as Fordham ended its regular season with a home rout of the Hawks 67-45 on Saturday. The win clinches a spot for the Rams in the A-10 quarterfinals and a matchup with Duquesne University tonight at the University of Dayton Arena. Good luck to the Rams. March Madness is underway. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.